Big time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, the world famous home of Levy out. It is transfer deadline day. It is the final countdown.
Oh, sorry.
We're doing this together, buddy. We're doing this together. It's good.
No, you bloody can't.
Thanks,
But
buddy.
we're here. We're going to roll down the deadline for the rest of the day. It's like New Year's Eve. We haven't signed anyone except for apparently Brennan Johnson. Like, we still don't know if it's completed his medical. We know he's completed it, but don't know if he's passed it. But we're joined by, of course, Mr. Ireland, member of Tottenham on Tour.
What's up,
And,
people?
of course, we've got our wonderful, it's Bobby K. It's Bobby K. We can't shout it because it's late at night and there are people probably going to sleep at this time. But lovely to have you guys. Ireland, how have you been feeling about this this window?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. I feel like it's what I expected it to be. A lot seemingly from the beginnings, like that it's going to be a great window, and then ends with disappointment. And not really getting the jobs done that needed to be done, specifically the center half position and another forward. Although Johnson looks like he's in. I think he'll be a good signing, like not a great signing, but I think he'll be a good signing. He'll fit in her system. But the players out is the biggest issue. You still got, Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, Sanchez. You got these players who are just going to sit on their wages for a season while we pay them, and they don't even play a lick of football. So it's frustrating, man. But this is the thing. I know everybody gets worked up about it. It's part of our brand to some extent.
Yeah,
and part of
our brand.
Right, part of being on YouTube. But I'm like,
to Chris.
I'm not somebody who gets worked up about this stuff, especially since it's happened every year since I've supported Spurs. I don't see it changing until the ownership changes, and I don't think the ownership's going to change until he feels like it. So I feel like it's pointless getting angry. We'll see what happens. I think the manager is going to do good things, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Ange Ball with the first 11 that we have and a couple of other subs that we have. So. Not a great window. There's some really key players that could make it a great window, but we'll see what happens by January.
Absolutely. And Bobby, what are you thinking about this window, Sunshine? How are you feeling? You disappointed? All right, you happy?
You know what? I just hate going after Brian Ireland. It's been a while since I've streamed with him, and now I know why I hate making comments after him, because he kind of stole the main points that I really had.
Just say what he said, and point out.
Yes, but I don't want to do that because everybody's like, "Oh, sure, just follow the white man." Then I got to hear it from my family. They'll be like, "You're a disappointment, you bastard guy." And my dad doesn't even talk like that. It's weird. No, what it is I agree mostly with Brian, just because I'm more disappointed, not with the incomings, more with the lack of outgoings. The fact that we've got that bastard and Ndombele sitting around on over 200K a week.
No, Ndombele, I forgot about him too.
Sitting. Well, that's why I said that one first.
There you
go. That's the only one you didn't say.
Thanks. You got one added there,
Thanks for leaving me one, Brian. Appreciate it, buddy. So I'm more disappointed in the fact that we didn't get these guys out. The three of us over here, we were on together yesterday or the day before. I don't even remember anymore. But we were talking about this. I didn't see much happening coming in, only because now we're only in 2 competitions and we've got a bloated squad. So it pretty much just, it was a script written by Levy himself this entire last 6 to 8 weeks. Bring Ange in.
That's what he does.
But what a great showman, man. I'm talking master illusionist. Bring Ange in, shut the fan base up. Right? Even with the Harry Kane gone, we were fortunate enough to get 7 out of 9 available points, which again shut the fan base up. Everybody jumped on the band, happy glory, as Brian likes to say. Everybody's happy singing, fireworks are going off, and hey, I love everybody. Yeah.
Sometimes that's fun, though, Bobby. Sometimes
it is. Well, you and me are more like that.
When I was in the UK, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I don't doubt it. And I'm glad you got to enjoy that game because it was a complete opposite of what we had to see. But the opposite, so. My kid enjoyed it. That's all that mattered. You know what I mean? He had fun. It was an experience regardless. So you win some, lose some. Unfortunately, we lost that day. But going back to this window, like I said, I'm more just disappointed with the lack of outgoings. The fact that United picked up Reggie from us is just shocking to me.
They were desperate.
Desperate for a better midfielder. We've literally facilitated a move for a better midfielder because now they've got Amrabat and Reguilon. They've got a better backup left back than we've got, and they've got a better backup centre midfielder than we have.
And what like Brian kind of touched on this as well. We were talking the other day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Kulusevski counts in this transfer window, correct? As a buy?
Yeah. So does Toro.
It was already budgeted, though. Already budgeted.
But I'm saying he will count as a summer transfer this summer.
It counts as an in. It counts as an in, yes.
As an in, right.
Yeah.
Okay, no. But just saying, but the money is taken off the books now.
Yeah.
As a transfer for him. So with Johnson coming in, did we just drop 80 million on 2 right wingers?
People in the chat firstly. Let's see. Before Ryan has got some breaking news to us. But first, we're going to welcome to see who's in the chat and see who is going to be chilling out with us for the next hour. Let's have a look. We've got Robin Hart. Hello, sir. Hello. Hopefully, everyone. Big up. We got Roy. Big up, Roy. Massive supporter. Culture. Great to see you. Why don't we go for Santiago Jimenez? I don't know. Leo and Lego. Great to see you as always. Tempest Faggot. We got Andrew Gregory. Perky 1980. We got Alexander Hilton, Steak. David Calvino, hello, welcome back. So, and Special K is a great nickname. We got the Sheriff, hello, sir, hello. We got Mark Ismail, 635 down under. Great to see the Aussie crew. Great to see you. We got Christian. Hello. We got Kuva. He's got the link if he wants to jump on. You're always welcome, Kuva, on this show. Absolutely. And Gregory. Hello, sir. Hello. We got Level Earth. We've got Chem, Danji, Baldspur, Alex in the house, Daniel Sandoval, and we will probably have many more. You had some news, Ryan.
Yeah. Hugo Lloris has an offer on the table from his old club, Nice. That is from Paul O'Keefe. He also cannot specify the details other than it's just an offer. How Spurs deal with it, he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, that's a good move for both clubs, right?
Spurs will just rip up the contract if he wants to go there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, Ryan. What surprises me is I heard about Pep and Arsenal ripping up a 72 million pound player or euro player, whatever they paid for him. And they turned around and terminated his contract. He must have been on over 100K a week at least if they signed him for that much. So you turned around and took the loss and just said, you know what? We're going to throw our hands up. We're going to wash our hands of this.
It's what a real club does, Bobby.
And it pisses me off, Brian. That's the fact that we won't dump out the likes of Lloris and Dyer that we know are on the books unnecessarily. And they're much lower caliber players.
Just get them off the wage bill at this point, right? We're not going to play them. Like, why are we paying them wages to sit there?
What's Tanguay work out to them, Brian? 8 million? 10 million, is it?
20 million, actually. 20 million.
Dembele, as we speak, at this football club, is the highest earner on 200.
Oh, right, because Kane's gone.
200 grand a week. He's on.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Over the course of a season, what's that work out to? About 10 million a season. 10 million euro or pound?
Pounds.
10 million pounds to sit on a bench. Anybody at Tottenham
Hotspur? He's not even going to sit on the bench. He's not even going to be in a squad. This is the thing. There's going to be 5 or 6
He's going to get paid to watch games. Okay, anybody at
in the box with Dele and Dyer.
I will come and do that for £100,000 a year. Okay, so you guys can save yourself a significant. I'm willing to do it.
I'd rather have you sitting there, Bobby. I don't know who this guy Tom is. Seems like a nice guy.
He's okay. He's got a dodgy doppelganger behind you. I just noticed. I didn't see you back there. What's up, buddy?
You know what I have to say with Mark, because Mark said on the fan show that he feels that we'll release a stupid name and go for it, and then obviously it came out about Shalabar. Isn't it good that we
Mark Cousins knows everything?
But no, isn't it brilliant as a football club that we brought in Van der Ven, we needed one more defender, we let 4 go, and then we go crawling on our hands and knees, begging for a loan
For Chalaba.
from one of our rivals. What are you jumping up and down for?
Bingo!
What do you mean, bingo?
Don't shout.
We get another tick off the bingo, you know.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
So we go. We go.
Tell Ryan to save his bingo till between
So,
talks.
so we
Have we had 10
So we go. We crawl over to Chelsea, a Pochettino Chelsea, and say, please, sir, can we have some more?
Yeah.
On deadline day, after you wanted stronger defenders, you get rid of 4. When the January window opens, we're going to lose Basuma, Sarr,
Which is
and
even
Son.
funnier because Lyle Thomas has just tweeted that Tottenham Hotspur are tentative. That's a new word.
That's why I said
It's a
bingo.
new word.
Oh, I've seen that word before. I've seen the tentative before.
New
Are we
word.
playing Tottenham Hotspur Media Bingo with the words that?
Oh, is that okay? 'Cause I missed out on that.
No,
I'll
we
be
can
honest
make.
with you
I'm
guys,
just
'cause I
making it
watched-
up right now. We
That's a
should
new word.
absolutely do it.
That's
Why
not even a
not?
word I've heard before.
Why-
Because I'll be
why-
honest with you, boys. I watched some of this stuff in the morning. I knew it was going to be an all-day thing. I watched, I was on in your comments, everything earlier in the day. And then I said, you know what? I know I'm going to join you guys later. I'm going to take a break from all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I sat down. I spent some quality time with the kids. We played some Fortnite. Yes, we got some victories for those of you that need to know. Very, very important. You know what I mean? Because just to play for the sake of playing is unacceptable. I beat my kids if they don't win. I mean, I encourage my kids if they don't win. Sorry, I want to encourage them. Sorry, I meant I make the mistake. So yeah, I just shut everything off, and when I knew I was going to come back and do this last bit with you guys, we had already discussed this. So I wanted to come in here not knowing anything, so I could genuinely be surprised. And I'm not surprised because we did nothing.
Nothing
So
happened.
I'm going to say I think I invested my time
Liverpool just
properly
confirmed
today.
Gravenberch is a Liverpool
Yeah.
player.
Awesome to know. We've got Kimber in the house and her partner Reggie
Kimber.
joining us
got
as well.
Kuba in
Very
the house
soon.
as well.
Hey,
Continuing to explore.
We have the big up moves. What do you think, buddy? What's been happening?
I'm nice and calm. It's an expected window.
it was expected. Yeah, we talked about that.
I'm with you, buddy. I don't know why everybody's freaking out about the thing that we know is going to happen. It happens every window.
I'm literally, I'm
That's
literally.
different.
Go on, Brian.
I'm going to start getting annoyed, and it's not with you guys, right? It's not we're annoyed because this is going to happen. We're annoyed at the people that say it isn't going to happen, and then when it does happen, and I've seen them on Twitter and all social media now, that are flipping it and spinning it and refusing to see it. The nonsense.
I know what you mean. The type of thing where they say, "Oh, just have faith, have patience. We'll get players in before the end of the window."
Yeah.
And then when we don't, they say, "Oh, well, the club just couldn't do it at this time. It's unrealistic to expect it."
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
That's what gets
full
it.
of excuses. I mean, I get
I'm
that.
still hoping that Brennan Johnson's medical still doesn't happen. It fails just so I get my Eeyore costume. I'm so gutted I didn't get that Eeyore costume.
I'm actually more disappointed right now. Forget the transfer window. I'm just more disappointed you haven't flipped me and Kuva yet, because normally I got to turn this.
That's true. It feels strange. No, see, you got it wrong again.
But now we put us where we're supposed to be.
Me.
Danny's in the
Don't English me.
You guys spend too much time on YouTube.
So
Yeah.
that's
He
what I'm
might be onto
concerned
something. It's
about
okay.
right now.
It's
Because
okay.
here we are.
He's a Canadian. Forgive him.
I know. You got to watch them guys.
You do realise we have 1 hour and 13 minutes
Yeah.
to get the deal done that was Angie's number one target that we didn't put a bid in for until today, that has been at the training ground for about 7 hours. To be told he's finishing only about 10 minutes ago, he's at the final stages of his medical.
Medical now complete.
Okay, well done. Medical now complete at quarter to 10 in the evening. They've probably done the media work first because that is really important. Get that media work done just in case the medical fails, but we do have to get our shots. This club is such a state.
Don't worry, Brian. Brennan Johnson's really quick. He'll get it done in time.
Nice one. That was good.
I'll tell you what. I'm quite comfortable with signing him. He's not the player I would have gone for. I think, like I said earlier in the day, I think we need to find our own version of a Mahrez or a Grealish or a Foden, somebody like that. Really technically great with both feet and, can really make things happen in and around the box. But let's look at the positives on Johnson. He's lightning quick and he does have an eye for a goal. He's got a good goals per shots ratio.
He's clinical, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we might end up playing him through the middle.
Yeah, I could see him through the middle or even on the left as well. If Sonny goes into the middle, there's a lot of
there's
he
options.
can play in any of those front three positions. So versatility, strength, power, speed, and he's clinical. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the player, and he's going to be good under Ange. It's just I think there's an underwhelming sense of it because we just sold Harry Kane and this is the only player we're bringing.
Yeah, of course.
There's money sitting there that we know should be spent in places that it has not got spent in. I think going forward, we're stacked. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in the team. I don't think we'll struggle there.
Combine that with being linked with Chalobah, I think's a really good player. I think that is somebody that can step in when we don't have the likes of Bissouma, because he's so damn strong on the ball. He really is impossible to knock off.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got the pace. He can pass it and he can tackle. We need players that can do that consistently. I think he could be a cracking signing for us. Maybe we'll have an option to buy at the end of that. That could turn out to be a really good one. It's not like it used to be in previous seasons. It's not like I don't think Chelsea are going to be saying, no, we're not dealing with
different
just
scenarios,
because sheer volume of players they got. They can't afford to be picky and choosy. If they get decent money and they're just going to take it, do their own thing.
Yeah.
Who's there 8 hours late?
That's early for him, isn't it?
Yeah, Danny's doing the January transfer window here.
There's no point. There's no point even doing a transfer window when it comes to Tottenham. Really, let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest. No. I'm just come to join the party. That's all. I'll say my thoughts in a bit. I was enjoying listening to Kuva.
Danny, we're still.
You weren't enjoying listening to us.
Oh, by the way,
go away.
Still
racist.
Now piss off, Danny.
Racist, man.
By the way, Danny, I was talking with my eldest son because we're going to get a cat when we move into the new house. So we're thinking about cat names, and we're thinking of calling it Kiriakou because you can call a cat loads of times. It never comes to you. It never it ignores you because it's something.
Well done, Kuva.
That's quite good. That's quite good.
The other ones we're toying with was.
So Kuva, you're basically saying if you shake a bag of temptations, Danny will show.
In a few months.
Shake it loud enough. He'll come.
It's either that or Jurgen Kittensman.
Jurgen. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's amazing because it works with Teddy Sheringham.
We may have to get two cats because
Teddy
we like the idea of the name Jurgen for a cat anyway.
Whoa.
Breaking news.
Just said breaking news. Oh, Barcelona sound cut. Why am I doing this to myself?
Barcelona.
Why do I do it to myself?
Have signed Joao Cancelo.
I'm an easy guy. Why? I know. When it says breaking news right in front of me, my eyes get averted.
You're desperate, Bri. You're desperate. You should know better by now. You should really know better.
What's everyone's thoughts of the window? Danny, give your thoughts. You already had your rant of the day.
No, I think it's one of the worst transfer windows I've seen. To be honest with you, I think it's a disgrace. I mean, you sell your best player and you sign Brennan Johnson. I mean,
mate, we've signed more than just Brennan Johnson. That you got to
attacking wise, Brennan Johnson. That's what we signed.
Manor, Solomon, Johnson.
Yeah, but that's not enough. That's not enough to replace.
I'm just saying you can't just say by one player.
When you sell Kane, everyone said we need two or three players, right, to sign to give you the output of what Kane gives you, and we've signed Brennan Johnson. Madison is a class player, but Brennan Johnson's not enough, and he's not good enough.
Signed more than Brennan Johnson, though, Danny, haven't we?
He's not. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think it's not good enough, but I think that's a little bit dishonest to not include the other ones we've signed.
Who? Van de Ven,
Madison, Solomon. Those are both forwards.
Solomon. Come on, Solomon. We're gonna
good
Solomon
backup.
is Solomon. We're gonna rely our hopes on Solomon.
I didn't
right?
rely
the
on
guy
that.
the guy who hasn't even had a minute of game time yet.
It's multiple players that you need to fill one player's 30 goals. He'll score 4 or 5 for the season.
Why are they so angry?
Madison will get 10.
This is a name. This is a
Johnson will get
name,
10.
Cooper.
That's 25 goals right there.
It's not enough.
Yes.
Though.
I know. I think we need more. I'm just saying you got to be honest about it. It's not Johnson for Kane.
Paul
It's not Johnson.
No, but we're not saying that though. I'm not saying that he's I'm not saying he's the direct. I'm saying right that what we've done is
I
not
noticed
enough.
you said hi to everybody else and not me. Thanks, Welshie. Oh, sorry. No, you two carry on.
We're just arguing over here. It's fine.
I know me and Kuba were loving it. We're like, well, we
Could
gotta
go
this. This is
could
exciting.
go for poor Stuart.
Anyway.
Right,
Poor Gascoigne.
Danny, players out today. Obviously, we needed our defense strengthening. So in true Tottenham spirit, when we need to strengthen the defense, we let 3 defenders go. We were about. I mean, when I say go, there still could be Sanchez. There still could be.
No, nothing. The window's done now. It's been done. It's been done the moment we signed the deal and Reguilon left the club and Tanganga left. And as soon as we signed the Johnson deal, that was it. It was done. I mean, I wasn't expecting any players to come in. I was expecting players to go out, and that was it. Right. The worst thing about today is that once again, right?
I didn't say it was enough, Ryan. I didn't say it was enough.
Once again, right? Once we have gone into a window needing key areas filled. We've taken away Harry Kane and we haven't bought a striker, right? We've taken away Harry Kane, we haven't bought a striker. We needed 2 defenders and we signed 1. And the worst thing about it is Davis, Sanchez, and Dyer are still at that club. They're still at the club.
I would agree with that.
And doubling.
Lloris is still at the club. Sessegnon is still at the club. Højbjerg, he doesn't even want to be there. He's still at the club. It's a fucking joke. It's honestly, it's madness what we're doing.
Danny, what you remember as well, we'll see, like Andrew said, this is where we get to see he's got to name his 25. Now, those people could still be at the club, but I don't expect
they're going to rot.
They're going to rot. And then it's
this is what makes me sick, right? This is what makes me sick about this fucking club, right? It's because we had a bid of 12 million euros for Davinson Sanchez, and the club turned it down because it's not enough. Once again,
and they rated him at 15. Like there's a massive difference.
Yeah, exactly. This is the problem. And have you seen who Bella Kotchap's going on loan to? PSV.
PSV.
He's going on loan to on loan. Why would Tottenham not go and get this guy on loan? Why? It makes no sense.
Danny, you answered your own question. Why would Tottenham go get this guy? Because it would have made sense.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
As I said on the stream earlier, it's I think you're being really unfair to put that pressure on us to act like a football club. We're just not used
we're an entertainment club.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, look, let's be honest. They
thinking,
never fail to disappoint in entertainment, right? They give us a lot of emotions, right? So they don't let us down in that department, but it's always the wrong ones they give us. So it makes us go quite loopy in
Absolutely.
the end of the day.
There's an obvious solution for me for sorting out all the deadwood. You just have to take inspiration from what you see around you. And for me, the inspiration would be Dark Knight Rises, when Heath Ledger goes into the room and breaks the pool cue over his knee, throws it on the floor and says, "Who wants it?"
Who's Heath Ledger in this scenario?
Danny, I will give you some faint hope, my man. I'll give you some faint hope. From my understanding, the Saudi League's window is still open for another week or 2.
Week. I thought it was 3. It's actually another week.
Yeah, but
Is it one?
Bobby,
Okay.
do you know where the hope dies straight away? Do you know where the hope dies straight away? The Saudi League only want good players.
Yeah, but there's some that they don't really know that are good or not. So as long as we
you just can pretend that they're good.
We keep pretending they're good and pushing that agenda out. There might be some sheikh that doesn't read the fine print and go, Eric Dyer, played for England. Very, very good. Yeah. 50 million. Tanguy and Dombele. What? Champion League players? Very, very good. 100 million.
Bobby, we need to get you out there. We need to get you out there.
Let me call my cousin right now.
I think the accent would just do it for them for sure. There.
Have we,
Yeah, 100%.
have you got a valid passport at the moment, Bobby?
Yeah, I got 2.
You got 2. Well, you need to get off to Saudi.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Which one
You
should I
get
travel on?
Saudi, work for one of these clubs. It's like when you're championship manager and you start as Tottenham, and then like I did on Championship Manager 2, you get Manchester United with all their money and just get them to buy all your youth players for 20 million, and then you resign at United with all their money. That's what we need to do with you. We need to get you out to Saudi.
It's that easy, though.
It's that easy. Okay, let's make it happen.
What Brian will make it even easier. What I'll do is I'll clean shave and I'll go out there and I'll pretend I'm Russell Peters. Then they'll have a celebrity. They'll have a celebrity selling the players. And once they find out that I'm buddies,
you look pretty similar, actually. You look pretty similar. You just got to shave your head there, Bobby. You'll do all right. And
Brian, you've never seen me clean shaven. If I'm clean shaven, buddy.
You look just like him, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how there's any more rumors coming out. It's 11. Well, no, it's still an hour left in the UK, isn't it?
There's 1 hour. There's 1 minute. 1 hour.
Nothing's going to happen though. Don't get your hopes up. Nothing's happening.
But I think people are bored and drunk by this time, so they're going to be making up a few, aren't they?
Exactly.
I think we might be getting messy.
I want to ask you guys.
159 people in here for the final hour to just chill with us.
Yeah, have a
as
laugh.
we just literally talk nonsense.
Yeah,
because nothing will happen at this.
Wait, I want to ask you though. Like, honestly, like, do you actually like the Brennan Johnson signing? Like, seriously?
No, because it stopped me getting an Eeyore costume, Danny. You shouldn't have got it for me.
I don't dislike the signing, but I think we could have done better.
It stopped me getting an Eeyore costume.
I started saying this earlier. If Kulu is considered a signing for this summer and he counts, so we just dropped 80 million on 2 right wingers, and neither of them is the one that would light things up for us.
No, Johnson is a forward and can play in all 3 positions, though. Let's be honest about it. It's not just a right winger. He plays.
Yeah, but then if
he's
that's
not a
the
striker,
direction
though.
we were
going to
go,
he is a striker. He played as a 9 multiple times, and he plays it as a 9 in that.
Okay, let's
just like Richarlison
that. But then why?
Just like Richarlison.
Richarlison plays for. Yes, I'm sorry, it's true.
But if we're going to use that argument, right?
Danny, I can see Rez waiting to come in, and I know Rez.
Hello, Rezzy.
Messaged me. I think Rez is going to have quite a bit to say. So, Rez, over to you, sir.
Do I need to do the thing? Rez's rant.
Off you go, Rez.
Yeah, and again, how many times, Tottenham fans, how many times are we going to find ourselves here before people finally take the step that they know they need to take? All right. I'm going to ask people a couple of questions. What trophy do we win for being sustainable? Yeah?
Sustainable trophy.
Yes, exactly.
That was easy. Another one.
What is the trophy?
What's that cup look like?
Yeah. What trophy do we win for not doing a Leeds, even though it's impossible these days? All right. People have really got to start asking themselves the question, what do you want from your football club? Don't you want your football club to be mentioned alongside the likes of Liverpool, of Real Madrid, of Barcelona, of Bayern Munich, like we used to be? Yeah, Tottenham. We were having dinner with my mum tonight, and my mum's from Iran, right? And she was joking, sort of semi-joking, that while she was in Iran last, she was trying to big up Spurs to Iranian football supporters, right? And we joked, and I said, well, you can set up the Iranian Spurs supporters club out there, right? I wonder how favorably Daniel Levy would look on that. But the point is that we have supporters clubs all over the world because we are a world famous club. That hasn't come about because of ENIC. That came out before ENIC. Why? Yeah. Because we were famous. We did things. We won things. Yeah. Okay? We had a glorious trophy cabinet. seriously, is it enough for you? Is it enough for you to all Spurs fans for us just to make up the numbers? Or should we be striving for something more? Should we be striving to win something? Right?
No.
A lot of
the new core that the Levy fans kind of thing that have come in, and I've just realized this because of guys like Danny and Brian Daigle and stuff. I never really looked at the business end of things. You know, I just watched football. That was it. I never knew even annually how they're working, this, that, none of this crap until I really started doing this stuff, and you guys educated me. I firmly believe. Oh, sorry, sometimes my English, you know this. I just think that a big section now, and I do mean a big section of our fan base, has come in the last 20 years, and what's happening is the norm and acceptable. So getting a player like Johnson, ooh, this is fantastic.
Well, that's the point that I'm making. Is those that for those that think it's enough, ask yourself, why do you bother? Why do you bother if it's just enough for you to come forth or to strive to come forth? What's the point? What is the point? Why are you throwing your time, your money, your energy into something where there is no tangible benefit, right? What do you gain out of it? Exactly, Andy T, perfect. My eyes have seen the glory of the cups at White Hart Lane. There's a generation who don't know what that means, but they should still strive for it. Okay, that's what sports, that's what competition is about. It's about winning things and doing it to replace the less tasteful ways in which human beings have sought to win or gain things, right? It is a noble calling to compete in a sporting event and to want to win. We criticize players who don't give their all when they step on the pitch. Why? Because it is the expectation that those who compete are competing to win. And therefore, those that support those that are directly competing to win want us to win also. So if you support any club, not just Spurs, just to see us limp into the European places so that the following season we can then limp to the quarterfinals, what's the point? Yeah? Strive for something better. Go out there and demand the best from your club. Otherwise, what is the point?
Yeah. You might as well support Leighton Orient.
I'm going to ask this, though. This is the first window now with Ange. And he signed a 4-year contract. Is there
Sorry, just very quickly interrupt you. Oliver, I've been to 4 protests. And that's with a full-time job and caring responsibilities, okay? Please don't question my commitment.
Yeah, and Kuva, wait, just a sec. Remember, Kuva lives in Dorset, so he can't always go to protests. He lives in Dorset, but every single time, one of us
Sorry.
So you call in? I know he just wants us. He wants to bait us, and we're not going to take the bait.
No, that's fine, Oliver. I came to England, and he couldn't even meet me.
No, it's not.
Okay, so him physically getting to a protest, somebody's situation, man.
If you know these channels for long enough, you know that Rez has been going to many of these channels. He was at the first protest we did this year against Man United. Mm-hmm. He was there. So, yeah, this is a fun stream. You don't need to call us wafflers. We know you're putting digs and...
I flew all the way from Canada for a protest, guys. So come on.
What I always find funny is people that stay and complain about a stream.
From the Daily Mail.
Well, hold on.
Brennan Johnson is a Tottenham player. Announced
Yay!
Yay!
But, yeah, it's just
you know.
Oh, it looks like I'm making coffees.
Dago,
Take over.
I'll take over. No,
I just realized Bren's rocking a Tottenham on tour shirt. When did you guys start bringing those out?
I took them out when I went.
I'm pretty sure you got a Spurs boys shirt as soon as I got to Mr. Ireland.
You'll get one. I got the store. The store's getting set up. They're only about $30. So
Here's a,
I want to know
Here's
everyone's thoughts.
chew over. Here's something for people to chew over, right? 45 years ago, right, on the 9th of July, 45 years ago, we signed Ozzy Ardiaz and Ricky Villa, yeah? 2 World Cup winners, right? A coup. That was the coup. We dominated the headlines that day. Every newspaper was talking about Tottenham Hotspur and how we had done this, right? We did that. That's the club we are supposed to be. Now, I know that some of us won't remember. I was 2 months old when that happened, right? But it is engraved in my soul that my club does this, right? The only non-league club, yeah, to lift an FA Cup. The first British club to lift the European trophy. Yeah, we used to be the record holders when it came to the FA Cup, and now our greatest rival has overtaken us. Are you not ashamed that that has happened? Chelsea, who were a nothing club, a yo-yo club, now have more trophies than us. They have overtaken us in the FA Cup stakes or equaled us. That is a cause for shame. Don't defend the person that has reduced your club. Defend him. Ask him questions. When was the last time he sat down and actually spoke to a fan? A real, not picked out of some shitty little election campaign for their poxy fan advisory board that will do fuck all. Yeah?
Hey guys, this is supposed to be a fun stream. I agree, Raz, but you know.
Well, I want to say, Brian, that I think at least there's some sort of some positives that the fact that, you know, with the players that we brought in, they've already stepped in and shown that they have improved our squad. So it's not all doom and gloom. I wish that we did a little bit more, but I personally think that we're off to a decent start.
I think we'll have a pretty good season. I don't think it'll be great, but we'll have a pretty good season. We're not meant to. We're going to
finish 7th.
Inevitably going to be difficult with new managers. So,
but that was Danny, before the season even started. That's what we were saying.
Yeah,
and then when Kane went, people were saying 12th, 14th relegation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not.
In response to Dietrich, you're asking me whether or not I would prefer vomit over a dog turd. Yeah, vomit at least still has some nutritional value, but if I had the choice, I wouldn't have either. But it's not a binary choice. Yeah, there's a false choice. We can have better at Spurs than Levy or the Saudis. Right.
Yeah.
The reason I
would like to say we're not going to make it a politics stream. We
already did this last stream. So.
We've done this once. We're trying to have a fun stream
we've lost the plot.
You know what, guys? No, you're right, Ben. And you know what? I'm going to lighten the mood for everybody, guys, in the private chat. I wouldn't consider doing this ever, but for you guys, I'm going to share my Pornhub login password and details.
Thank you.
24 hours, unlimited. Beautiful.
I'm just going on mute.
Go crazy. Enjoy.
That's very kind.
I can't watch it all again.
Appreciate that.
No, there's remember I got blocked because there's too much. You can't.
Oh, yeah.
Watch hours are allowed. Blah blah blah. You've watched all the content available.
Yeah.
So I had to get the gold membership, but full access to everybody. Yeah. But you're right, Brian. You know, at this point, it's kind of like, what can we do?
This is the thing.
With what?
I watched
48
Spurs.
minutes?
I watched Spurs to enjoy the football side of it. I get the rage. I don't live there. I don't deal with the season tickets being massively expensive. I don't suffer the same thing you guys suffer. I suffer, because you guys are friends and colleagues and everything, and I get it. And I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. But when it comes down to like our first 11, some of the players we brought in, it's going to be a fun watch this season. I don't know that it's going to be up and down. There's going to be some challenges, but it's going to be a fun watch. And that's why I like Tottenham. I want to watch the football. I want to talk about tactics. I want to see the players come in and enjoy themselves. And they look like they're enjoying themselves under this manager. So I think despite the tragedy that is our transfer window. And again, this happens every year. So that's why I don't let it get to me. It's every single window under this ownership. This is what happens. So why do people act surprised and freak out? Because it isn't going to change until they're gone. So try to enjoy what we have while it's here and make the best of it. That's kind of where I'm at. I know that's a bit happy clapper, but that's kind of where I'm at, and I'd rather enjoy my football that way.
But Brian, I'd like to think that you and me are pretty similar in our thought process with this. You know what I mean? Because we're not over there and suffering.
It makes a difference because we're here. Yeah,
we're here, so it's a different light that we see things through. But
come on, I need it. I know. Oh, hi.
Yeah, I agree, Bobby. It definitely makes a difference.
I promise, but I need it.
And how you enjoy it.
Sorry, go. Yeah, and we're not impacted as greatly as these guys who are going on a weekly basis. You know, they've got their nose to the ground kind of sense. They hear everything. They see what's going on at the stadium. They see the fans like us that have come over from abroad that are being ripped off, basically. But to us, it's not a rip-off because it's a vacation.
It's more expensive going to a TFC game in Toronto. It's more expensive to go to a TFC game in Toronto
with parking and everything.
To go to the Spurs game in London.
So you know, we kind of expect to be ripped off because we're
used to it.
So that's why I don't think, like, even when I went and I dropped the amount of money I did for the kids and myself to go, that's the last thing I was kind of concerned about because it wasn't in my thought process.
Bobby, I was
for
looking
these
at
guys that live there. Every year going up and up and up, and to get a drink, to get some food, and where's that money being reinvested? So I agree. You have the right to ask the question.
That's why I said I get their perspective, but I don't live it, so it's harder for me to understand it completely. One thing about you just mentioned there is the price of liquor and beer, right? So it was about £5, I think. Ben, was that correct for the beer we bought? So that's about $10 for a beer.
Yeah, you go to $9 for it now. Yeah,
you go to BMO Field and it's $13.50 or $14.50 for a can.
It was 18 something for that 20 ounce.
Well, that's the giant one. But for a can, which is about equal to a pint or a little bit less than a pint, $15 you're paying for it after a tip. So you know, again, we're getting ripped off just the same, and it's just more for you guys for context.
And our quality of football is significantly lower.
The fans are lower. The atmosphere is lower. Everything about it is lower.
I don't think any Spurs fan is necessarily going to complain about the amount that they pay, right?
Yeah,
the issue for us is the fact that we're paying, but we're not getting what we should also be getting, because the point here is
TFC are in last right now, Kuva, by the way.
Exactly. We're drawn in by the promise of something else. And all that happens is we're drawn in by this promise, and then they milk us while we're there. Right?
Yeah, no, I get that for sure.
It's the Yabascoat thing, right? Where you draw one thing in, fleece the fan, and don't deliver the thing that you're supposed to as a football club. A football club is supposed to deliver competition.
Yeah.
What Daniel Levy is at the vanguard of is the way that football is going generally, right? They want to turn football into the NFL. Okay?
Americanize it, for sure.
Yeah. That is all the thing. That's why the European Super League came along. That's why the Saudis are all buying the players. It's because it's about removing the very idea of what football is there for. Again, we come back to what I was talking about earlier, competition. Yeah, they don't want competition. Why? Because competition carries risk.
Yeah.
Okay. It is about de-risking something that is supposed to be about risk.
Yeah, they're trying to remove relegation, essentially.
Yeah. They want to remove jeopardy. That is the thing that motivated all the protests against the European Super League, is because there is no jeopardy. They want to remove jeopardy. And the problem with doing that, however, is that the smaller clubs are the ones that are left behind. It's pull the ladder up, Jack, and bleep the rest. Yeah? So I don't mind. Listen, I think competing, I would pay £20 a pint if I had to. Sorry, carry on, Bob.
No, I was going to say, that's why I think Brian kind of alluded to this already, saying that why do we get wound up? Why do we not expect what it is? Because I think what happens is when you get in a manager like Ange, you see VDV's been brought in, you see the Solomon's been brought in, some players have been around, Vicario's been brought in, and some players have been moved around. the squad has been upgraded a little bit, it gives you hope. And it's like everybody says, it's the hope that kills you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we've all sadly got to the point where we realize it's foolish to have that hope.
Yeah.
And that's just the difference between a lot of us and some of the other Spurs fans, that they still maintain that hope. And that's why
I honestly think
hope
it's
or is it
upsetting
delusion?
no,
Is
I
it
think
hope?
we still have it though. Look at
little
Brian.
from column A, little from B.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Guys, look at Brian a minute ago when he saw a ticker up in front of him and he thought something was happening. There was breaking news.
He got excited.
You know,
Yeah.
like the hope is still there, no matter how pissed off we get,
you have to
or how
have it.
annoyed we get with the ownership. The hope doesn't go away because it's a football club we love, right? So you always are going to have that hope. I just don't allow myself to get worked up or have high expectations to get let down again. I'm just like, I know what's going to happen here. It's going to be shit. I'm going to be disappointed. There's going to be some good. There's going to be some bad. Probably more bad than good because that's what we've experienced for 20 years. Why is this window different all of a sudden? Like, at what point did we change ownership? Why do we have different expectations every window and think, why are we not getting these players in? We never do, guys. It's the end of the window. It's the same thing.
Again,
Yeah, I think I think for me personally, I think this is a very slightly better window than last summer for me.
Yeah.
I think last summer it got sort of hyped up because we got the likes of Udogie, who wasn't going to play all season, and Basuma came in, but we didn't play him. He was a poor signing for last season.
Yeah,
good. We knew he was a good player there, waiting to happen, but what we actually got at the time just wasn't worth it because he didn't even start at the beginning of the season. He took several games before he even got into the team. We looked at the way Perisic started on a free transfer or not. You still expect something to happen. I thought it was really disappointing. Let's not forget Richarlison was signed last summer. I mean, these are not things that set the place alight last season. This season, I'm a little bit more optimistic because we've got Van der Ven, who's hit the ground running, looks like going to be a really good defender for us for a long time. Slotted in with Romero, worth its weight in gold. But we are now getting the added benefits of the likes of Udogie has come into play now, and he's looking good. Basuma now is the player that we wanted last season. So it's kind of elevated how I feel about the team this season. It's just purely a perception thing with the transfer windows. End of the day, if you're happy with what you feel's happened with the team, you're okay on the way ahead. I think if we'd managed to hang on to Harry Kane for a season, personally, I think he'd be breaking all of his records in one season.
100%.
And for me, the biggest transfer of the lot, biggest coup out of all of it, is I think we have one fantastic manager.
Yeah,
and I think he is capable.
That's what I'm excited about more than anything is the football we're going to play.
It's the only positive. The problem is even also with this whatever we signed. This is the summer we sold our record goal scorer, a living legend, and we replaced him with Richarlison.
Nothing.
With Richarlison.
We didn't even replace him with Richarlison. Richarlison was here last season.
Yeah, we didn't replace him.
Not replaced our club record goal scorer. Me and Ryan spoke about this on other shows. Like with a lot of Tottenham fans of the older generation have said, "Oh, we saw when Gaza left, we saw when Greaves left, we saw," and rattled off all these legends. Like me and Ryan know nothing more than Harry Kane. With Bale that expected to happen, that we've almost lost one of our best mates, and they've not even tried to replace him. They've not.
I think Ben, if I was going to add, just to add to sort of what we were talking about in regards to the manager, I think that's where the change is. We replaced a system. We replaced Kane with a system, with a manager that has a system for an entire team and not to rely on one player. I'm not saying that's appropriate. I'm just saying I think that's how it's being looked at, or how probably the club's looking at it. And we're going to get goals from everybody in the team rather than two players.
Had 8 years ago, before we brought in 8 years ago, before we brought in Jose Mourinho and started leaning on Kane FC, because we weren't necessarily Kane FC when Pochettino was there. We had a really good.
We had a lot of other players. Yeah, I agree.
We had a functional team. The reason we became Harry Kane FC is because of the ownership of the football club.
Oh yeah, and who they hired and the type of football
who they hired, and they wouldn't replace the team.
Correct.
I agree. That's the
They
big issue with
they-
the, that's the
they
biggest
made
issue with this
Kane
window.
FC. The players did not make Kane FC. Kane
Yeah.
FC was made by not bringing in players.
Not doing anything. Yeah. Your recruitment being
That's
horrible.
why.
I agree, and I
Kane
100%
FC.
true.
Kane FC just because Harry Kane was that good.
If we'd had to have signed him, he never would have played for us.
I do think the system is the replacement, and I don't think that that's necessarily enough. But I do think that's the idea that the
It's an
system.
idea, but is it the right idea? If you're
We'll
not
find
gonna-
out. We're going to find out.
We've had 23 years of experience of knowing that the man at the helm at Tottenham Hotspur will not do what is necessary.
Yep.
Again, we are fooling ourselves because we have been gulled. We have been gulled into thinking that because the football might be more exciting, the final objective will suddenly change. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Daniel Levy has not done anything different. Point to something that he has done that is different to stuff that he's done before.
We got a nice Coca-Cola freestyle machine coming. We don't actually, but
There's nothing, guys. He is still operating the same way. So
I
why
hope that's Brian Ireland's finger.
Mine. Yeah. You can't do it, guys. It's not going to happen.
I hope that was your finger.
We might play some better football. We might play some better football, more exciting football. But at the end of the day, it will not be enough.
Yeah,
it is though.
It won't be enough.
It's enough to keep the status quo that they've established.
That's what I'm just saying. It's not enough to change anything. So you can say that Ange coming in is a positive, but it's the tiniest little positive compared to an entire ocean of negative.
Considering what we've experienced, like the tiny bit is something, especially the last two managers. So
and with that,
I'm gonna enjoy it, Rez. I'm not gonna be miserable. Sorry.
No, but Brian, with that equation, with that equation, that is how you're trapped. That's how you're trapped.
Of course, we're all trapped. But what do you want me to do? Not watch my team? Not ignore it? Like, what do you want me to do?
I'm not saying don't watch your team. I'm not saying don't watch your team. I'm going to watch my team.
I know. I got nothing else I can do. I can just sit and rage about it, or I can just watch the
football. That's absolutely fine. Right? That's absolutely fine. Again, for me, though, I at the very least, we should strive for something better.
I agree. I want that to happen. I want Levy out as much as anybody else does. I just don't see it happening in the near future. I just don't.
If we work as a fan base, it can happen.
I'm here, so I'm working as much as we can work on this channel. That's been our motto is Levy out. So,
and that's part of it. And that's part of it, Brian. That is part of it.
Yep.
That is part of the equation, right? I just think that we should always keep our eye on the main aspect of it. By all means, celebrate the positive. Yeah, that's absolutely great. I've got no issue with that at all. And you enjoy your football. I'm happy for you. I just won't take my eye off that main point either. It's the fact that ultimately I want better for Spurs than what we're getting.
I do too, mate. I do too. I don't know when that's going to hapen. So it's going to take something drastic for it to change.
Sure. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think
it's going to take a miracle, right? But we're going to have to ride the punches this season.
Yep.
We're going to have to. Yeah. We're going to have to ride the punches. This is going to be a very difficult season, especially after that window.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult.
I disagree, guys. I'm sorry. I think everything that's happened is because simply we only have two games to worry about now.
We lose two players, Bobby.
We have a bloated squad.
It will happen. If we lose two players, we are in deep trouble. If we lose Basuma, we're in trouble.
But that's the gamble they're willing to take. If they
any team who loses their best players are in trouble when they lose.
I feel like I have to point out something very important.
We don't have a functional unit. Like if
there's something really important to point out. Sorry to interrupt, but have you noticed Danny's been very quiet? This
Yeah, what's going on
usually
over there,
means
Danny?
that there's
Okay?
some really dodgy bits of artwork about to come out to somebody.
You don't. Danny's been sacked for dodgy bits of art. But you just go to Kim and she gets you Eric Dyer fighting a shark.
Oh, those are great. Those are so good.
Yeah, they are
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think if we lost a defender is the biggest issue for me, and I've said that from the beginning. It's the main thing is that center half position, going from like having Van der Ven and
Romero to
Romero
Sanchez
together, and then you lose one of them. That's when we're really in trouble. I think the midfield, it's not going to be as good. It's not going to be as dynamic. We have some players that can kind of come in there and do a job. We don't have a player that can do a job in that position. So the defense is the biggest. That's the one that scares me the most, for sure.
Yeah, Fraser Forster is the backup goalkeeper from my brother. And did we see him the other night against Fulham?
My God, he was absolutely terrible.
Terrible in that penalty shootout. Absolutely.
Well, he was good in the rest of the game, though, to be fair.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay in open play.
He was okay.
He was like a dead animal. Like a dying animal.
His passing was absolutely shite.
Sorry, guys, you can't judge a goalkeeper on a penalty shootout. That is completely unfair. They are not allowed to move off the line, right? The players nowadays do that fucking.
But he went the same way, the exact same thing every single
You can't judge a goalkeeper on a penalty shootout. You can judge them on how the quality of the save. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for Forster, we wouldn't have gone to penalties, right?
True.
Fulham would have beaten us hands down. Yeah, he's the one who actually kept us in the game long enough to get to penalties. Yeah, don't. Fraser Forster is not a problem.
Hold on, really?
It's
Boys, here we go. We got it. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Just two of Jay's friends are over and they're going for pizza. So here they go.
for God's sake, Bobby.
I went to Brendan right away.
I bet Brian got an erection there.
Yeah.
I was wondering what popped up on the screen.
Not even for a second did I buy into that, Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, you did for 1 second. You did after two.
No,
you
I
realized. Oh, for half a second, I had you.
Yeah, of course not. Americans don't know anything about football. What are you on about?
Hey, just because you're
not American.
just because your Saudi league is kicking off in your country, mate, don't start.
Also not American, Bobby. Don't worry about it.
Don't start this off.
It's kind of like in Dallas or Wisconsin or wherever it is that you are. I don't know where it is.
I don't know. How's the education system in England? Don't you guys have atlases?
I don't know. I don't know. It's improving, but I think what I'm most interested in is whether or not you've got hot water yet.
Can you
Kick him off?
Thank you.
You see, no, but that's the good thing. You see, Ben has got technology, so he could kick me out. You couldn't.
No, but I got my Canadian brother that can.
You just asked.
Oh, that's true. Brian, kick him out.
I'm back.
See, now we're having fun.
Bro.
Absolutely.
What happened to bro code, man? Is that what?
So we got a game tomorrow, guys. You excited about the football match we're playing tomorrow?
No.
We'll do a little Burnley game, you guys. What do you think?
Just want some of that Ange football back.
Yeah.
I'm looking
forward.
I'm looking forward to sleeping till 10 o'clock, waking up and going to the Wimpy. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's it. That's your day tomorrow?
You got a Wimpy?
We've got a Wimpy. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You want to go to the Wimpy?
I'm at my mum's and then we're going back to the flat tomorrow. So I don't know if we can do Wimpy.
This is blowing me off, guys. How dare he?
Kick me out. Get rid of me. Come on.
How dare
Hi, bitch.
How dare you not go for a Wimpy race?
You swore, Bobby. You swore.
I swore, or did you?
You did.
Bobby, you can't swear on this show.
Swore.
You can't swear on this show, Bobby.
Okay, so what am I not allowed to say?
I don't know. Got the nares, umbrella.
You're not allowed to say gang.
To the 105 people watching, we're sorry.
You can't say Dan. You can't say Don. You can't say Dagnabbit.
Was it me or him though?
It was you.
I'm gonna turn around and just say my English is not very good. I said a pudge. I like a
Danny,
pudge.
Danny, you had a rave everybody?
Butter
Don't
pudge.
play the race card, all right? Don't play the race card. You're
I'll
not
play
allowed
whatever
to.
game of cards I want. Don't you come in here and bully me. This ain't shelf side.
I'm not bullying you, right? Sitting there with your hat and your face.
Your ads.
Cool. Sorry. You know why?
I like
Is it
that
just
Danny's
because
gone
Nick's
full
left him,
ambiance,
he's got to come at me, eh?
Danny's gone full ambiance. He's gone
Ben,
full
can you
ambiance.
do something about him, please? You can start there just talking to other people all the time. There you go.
Well, we've got 27 minutes
Don't
left.
you laugh, Danny. I'll
27
get rid of
minutes
you as well.
Yeah.
This is
How dare you
What
laugh,
was that,
Danny?
Ben? What was that? Yeah.
Oh,
this is the quietest.
fun. I want
I've
to go. I want to go.
All right.
This is
Welcome to Shelfside Spurs, everybody.
absolutely right. This is
What was that, Bobby?
He's making
This is the quietest I've ever heard, Danny. This is the quietest I've heard you, Danny. Are you sick?
I'm just working out. I'm working
sick
out
of this.
what trophy Spurs have won this summer. I think they won the Net Spend trophy.
Yeah.
We got the Tiger Cup.
We got
You
the
guys are
Tiger
such
Cup,
haters,
bro.
man.
We got the Tiger
Ah.
Cup.
that was a big trophy for us, Danny. Come on, the Tiger.
It was a big trophy. Yeah, it's true.
The
Did
Tiger
you
Cup
actually
is
see it?
our
That thing was so cute. It was.
So
It was
why
like the
don't-
one that the kids get at their
What
league.
are we going to do? What are we going to do at 11:01? What's everyone going to do at 11:01?
Turn off the telly.
I'm gonna.
Arsenal shirt.
No, you're not.
What?
I'm gonna
my
go
brother
go
just
to
said
go
buy
to
an
a patio
Arsenal
and
shirt.
have a drink.
No. It's time for a drink. It's whether the pubs are open at this time, which they're probably not.
Would you
They
guys?
are-
Would
they
you
are
guys
here.
count? Would you guys count Porro and Kulusevski in the budget for this summer
No.
for what we
No.
spent?
It was already
No.
budgeted as an obligation to buy.
It shouldn't be, but it's gonna be.
But they
Yeah,
keep
that's
it
what I think
this
as well,
summer
yeah.
signings, right?
No, but it was an obligation to buy. They just changed the fee. So it was already an obligation. When it's
Yeah.
got obligation to buy,
The thing, again, the issue, the guys, you can't think of it in those terms. It doesn't. It's not like that. Look, do you know with big finance, right?
Mm.
Like, say for instance, you've got one big corporation that takes over another big corporation, right? When they sort of do that, one of the key elements of it is debt, right? That's what player transfers has become. It's just a shifting of debt between all these hundreds of players, right? So let's say, for instance, you've got Club A, or let's say you've got Spurs, and they owe, say, 100 million to Club B, right, for a player, okay? And then if, say, for instance, they then buy they sell a player to Club C for, say, 40 million, what they could do is to say, well, you know that 40 million you owe us, just owe it to Club B and we can reduce the debt that we owe Club B by 40 million. No money is actually transferred, right? It's just a change in the debt levels between all these different clubs. So that really, when players are bought and sold, the transfer fee is just a label. There's no actual money transferred, or if there is, there's only a very small nominal amount transferred. It's like do you remember when Chelsea were bought for £1 before Roman Abramovich? I think he bought it for £1. He bought it for £1, but when he bought it, the reason that they could buy it for £1 is that he needed to pay something. You couldn't get it for free in terms of cash, but you paid £1, but then took on all the debt as well. Right, that's why he got it essentially for free for £1, right? And it's the same when it comes to player transfers, because every club will have a relationship with other clubs and will owe money in both directions. So all that happens with a transfer is that debt is transferred across the chain, right? That's why you get these sell-on fee parts. That's not us getting a fee or a club getting a fee when that player is then sold on.
It's not,
that's it. That's for £1. That's right. It's just an adjustment of the amount of debt that is owed between. It's the basis of all big finance, not just in football. So budgeting, thinking we got 100 million in, and so we've spent that much, and net spend and all that, they are so out of date. These ideas, they are so completely outdated now. That's why FFP was supposed to be over a 4-year period, right? If you have more than this much spending over a 4-year period, it's like, well, how do you figure that? It's because it's just how much debt you've actually accumulated in that time, rather than money brought in and money sent out. You know, again, we are so behind the curve on all this stuff as football fans because it's outside of our purview. We don't spend any time thinking about this stuff. Why would we? Why would we? You know, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that killed it.
So like I was saying,
too serious, Red. Too serious.
Something intelligence.
20 minutes till it closes. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen.
Dark side.
Dark side.
Yeah.
Things.
Something. Kim, you've turned Kim bamboozled. I don't know what's happening to Kim.
To be honest, I just let Kim freewheel. Really, that's usually the best thing, because if you try to get in the front of it, she'll just mow you down.
So what? You unshackled her today?
Sorry. Oh, she unshackles herself. She unshackles herself.
She knows how to get out of her restraints.
Yeah,
oh, bro, be careful.
We don't. It's not. She's not shackled for thingy. She's not shackled for imprisoning purposes. It's just to see how long it takes her to free herself in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She frees herself with her mind, though, which is very terrifying. Yeah. It's like
it's the psionic powers.
It's full Magneto.
Yeah. It's full psionic.
By the way, you were asking what we're going to do at 11:01.
Yes.
I was making a drink in the kitchen and I was listening to Rez. I think I might just go to bed now.
Oh.
Look at you, responsible.
I'm
sorry.
I'm going to have a chocolate bar.
I gave you guys all that Pornhub access, man. You're really not going to go to bed right away? No, you're not.
This is a chocolate bar. And the closer I hold it, and the angrier Coov gets.
No, I'm not bothered, mate. I'm quite prepared for you to be wrong. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, he's happy. He's happy for incorrectness. I mean, I'm not saying you are incorrect, Ben. I don't have a dog in the fight. As far as I'm concerned, it's food. It's edible. I don't care if it's a chocolate or a biscuit. I'll just eat the fucker. Pardon.
We're past worrying about swearing here, Kuba. Sorry.
I can't help myself. It's because on shelf side I say everything.
Yeah. See, it wasn't me earlier. It was him. But you guys turned around. It must have been the brown guy. You know, I can behave.
I'm brown as well. I'm brown as well.
Yeah, but you're like caramel, bro. Don't try to play the race card. That's my game.
I'm not playing the race card. I'm just stating the fact. You're brown. I'm brown. Everybody's brown.
Ryan's got an announcement.
20 to 7.
Is it 20 to 7 in Canada?
Yes.
20 to 6. 19 to 6.
20 to 6.
19 to 6, yeah.
Okay, so does that technically mean that the window's still open for 5 hours in Canada? So we've still got 5 hours to go on their time.
Windows open. Yes. If that makes you happy, yes. The answer is yes.
You'll sleep better knowing that, Ryan. Then yes, that's true.
But don't be upset if you wake up in the morning and still with that extra 5 hours, ain't jack shit happen.
Yeah. Okay, breaking news. Yep.
Loris has said no to the offer from Nice.
Yep, has said no to Nice.
You're kidding.
Oh, it's club.
Via Matt.
Danny's been waiting for that for like a half hour. He's been sitting there quietly building that.
I just want to punch them all in the face. I want to punch Lloris in the face. I want to smash Eric Dyer over the head.
Wait, Danny, before you do anything about that, I've got to make the banner. we do things properly here. We do things like they do on the Shellside Spurs show. Right, here you go. Everyone's
go, Jamie.
No.
Hey.
You've been so quiet. Man. Come on.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Yeah, because
Cheers.
if you're worried about swearing, you really want to.
She's here now. Oi, excuse me. I think the level of attractiveness in the entire panel has gone through the roof.
Sorry, can you make Danny full screen again?
Thanks, mate.
Just for another 5 seconds, please. Oh, wait. I can. Okay.
Look,
Okay, go. I'm ready.
Oh,
yes.
Danny, can you just send him a
Danny, can you do
screenshot?
this a little bit for me? Oh, Danny, stop it.
So basically, we're worried about the language at the moment, so we're going to put Danny on for a rant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's not a good idea. It'd be like watching someone with Tourette's.
Yeah. Bleep, 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 bleep. Levy, bleep, bleep. The players are the bleep, bleep. Spurs and all the bleep, bleep.
Right, this is a very bloody tired panel.
Although, from what I understand, Christian has been following right from the off, so he must be tired too.
Yeah.
He's right in the beginning, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's the disappointment of this for the people like yourselves, like Christian, that invest a day into watching everything, watching every news feed, Twitter, all the social media things, to just be met with nothing. It's like waiting for Christmas and it doesn't come. But like I said, I think me and Brian are more on the same boat kind of thing, where we're at least in some form the ship has been righted, turned into the right direction. Obviously, there's still a lot to do, but
What?
I'm
Now
going
we've
to
got
enjoy the football
Right.
this season.
Bloody hell, stop ruining my show. I'm going to boot you all out. Yes, my show. I'm in the hosting chair.
There you go.
All right, anyway, I'm going to host it now, guys. We got a little problem there. So, he's getting a little too big for his britches. That
Ben,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine me hosting?
I'll do it. Yeah. It's all about me. No, get off. It's my go.
All right, we got to have a show here, guys. We got to finish this. We're losing subscribers as we do this.
God in heaven. Oh, no, do you know what would be freaky?
Yeah.
What would be freaky is if everyone was kicked out and then when you brought them back in, they disappeared and it'd just be like the empty chairs.
I've got something to make Brian Daigle really happy. So, Brian, right
here we go.
So, when you calculate all the ins and outs, Brian, right? Well, I've got to see this. I've got to put everyone in there. Put everyone in there, not me as a solo view, right? So, Brian, this will make you really happy, mate. So, when you calculate all the ins and outs with Tottenham this season, right? And
you talking about me or Brian Daigle?
Daigle, Mr. Daigle in the background there, right? If you calculate everything together, if you're taking Kulusevski and Porro out the equation, right? Without the add-ons added into the final fee, right? Tottenham have spent, right, £52.1 million net this summer, right? If you add in the add-ons with them still without Porro and Kulu, it's £69.9 million net. That is what Tottenham have. That's what Tottenham have spent.
No, that's the reason to say 69.
No,
it is.
No, they haven't. They have changed £69 million. Okay. Pay attention when I tell you things, people.
Oh shit! Oh no, he's fine.
No. Let's just recap.
Wait, Brian. Let me get the popcorn. Hold on.
No. Let me just recap what we've done. So, we have hired a chief footballing officer.
We did.
We have hired a chief footballing officer to be the link to the director of football to the manager. We don't have a director of football. We have sold Harry Kane. We have we've got a bad problem in defence, so we've let 3 defenders go. We have Hugo Lloris turning down Nice because at this club we have a culture where why should I go and take a pay cut when I can just sit here and do fuck all? We have an absolute shit show of a culture where players just sit here and just apparently just said, which is in the embargo section, and I've just listened to the Tottenham TV, that if Hugo Lloris stays or goes, he's not in the 25-man squad. He's going to sit here on 100 grand a week. Eric Dyer is going to sit here on 65 grand a week.
Yep.
And Dembele is going to sit here on 200 grand a week. But it's okay. We have 2 strikers in Richarlison and Felice.
Yep.
Well done, Tottenham Hotspur. Well done.
Oh, Brian, this might make you Brian. Brian.
Let's give a round of applause for the brilliance that is this football club, for the brilliance of this ownership.
Brian, this might make you
that wasn't so hard, Brian. Big up,
Brian.
Levy.
It might make you more happy,
sarcastic.
right? If you add in Kulusevski and Porro to this, right, with the add-ons, we've spent £225 million this summer. Can you believe that? It's actually insane. We spent £225 million, and what have we actually done to the squad, realistically?
Nothing. The funniest fact is Chelsea spent more on Pochettino in one transfer window than at Tottenham.
But I'm concerned, Ben, for the fact that we've actually spent. If you look at actually what we've actually, if you add in Kulusevski, right, and Porro to this transfer window, with all the add-ons, we've spent $250 million, nearly $250 million. What has that gone on? Brennan Johnson, Veliz.
Guys, again, educate yourselves. It's not about money, right? It's about that expenditure. It's all about devalue. It's all about amortization and wages. Okay, forget the fucking transfer fees. They're meaningless, right? They are meaningless. These are capital assets we're talking about, right? Every fan who talks about the amount that Spurs have spent is taking their eye off the ball. We can afford any player in the world. Any player in the world, we can afford it. Okay? I can tell you that. This is when do you remember that really crappy, shitty response that went to the supporters trust when they started asking questions? When we talk about this stuff, it allows the club to turn around and say, we've spent 200 million things over the last 4 seasons. No, you haven't. All you've done is moved some debt around. Yeah. But what you haven't done is brought in decent players that demand good wages, because you want to keep the amount that you spend from the money that you take out of our pockets to a minimum so you can benefit and enrich yourselves. Yeah?
Isn't that every business model, though?
It's schmucks like me that are getting up early to go to fucking Burnley tomorrow.
Schmuck.
Yeah, same.
Do you know what? I'd rather
Go watch a football match. Enjoy the football. Come on. It's football. It's a game.
I'd rather get up at 5 a.m. in minus 40 degrees and go to the Scotland Yard.
Yeah. Please, Mr. Brian Ireland, I haven't sworn tonight.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I don't think I did either. It was him.
I've definitely. It was you. It was you.
This is.
I might have said shit. That's about it. But the F bombs were over there, Mr. Angry.
It was you. I heard you. I saw your mouth.
You don't even know the difference between Canada and the US. How do you know if you swore or not? Come on.
So
True.
how long we got left of this Potsy window left?
8 on the TV document.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8
Okay.
minutes.
We're going to wrap it
Nothing's
up.
gonna happen.
Because I've got to get up at stupid
Right,
o'clock
we've
in the
got to go to the
morning.
deadline. We've got 10 minutes.
Oh, we've got
8 minutes.
Okay,
I'll
so
take-
no,
I'll take the
I was.
chair.
Oh, yeah, take the chair.
I'll take the chair.
By the way, I want to know what everyone rates the window. I rate this window 3 out of 10.
Oh, that's a good question.
3 out of 10.
Minus 12 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 out of 10.
I'm probably
0.
I'd probably say I'm a 6.
0.
I'd say 3 out of 10.
Because Rez actually has, if you've got the thing where if it's like a good window, it's a 1, if it's not a good window, it's a 0 because it's not. I like that. There's Res being intelligent, unlike us. But I'm going to rate it in the Shellside Spurs show fashion of minus 114 out of 10. That's just what I'm going to
There
say.
you go.
And I'm going to say only Shellside streams on a Thursday night. So just to.
Oh, that's not true. Oh,
Yes, it is. You know it's true.
I'm gonna go for a 4 out of 10 just because I love the fact that Van der Ven turned up and we've got Maddison. And to me, Maddison alone makes this quite a tolerable window to me. I was much more annoyed with last season, as I said earlier.
it's a 5 for me. I like the fact that we brought in Van de Ven and Vicario, and it's I think we've got some pieces that are almost correct, but we need a lot more. But the only thing that brings the number down for me is the fact that we didn't have enough outgoings.
Yeah, I think it's the outgoing and the like the fact that none of them are going to play. They're like useless. we have all these players that are just, what are we going to like? What are we going to do? What are they going to do? Like, that's just such a waste.
Brian, we've got all these players. We're going to keep paying their wages.
I know.
It's madness.
Just the contracts and move on. Like, it's bonkers.
Do you know what?
Tanguy Novelli is going to have a fourth transfer window of not getting moved on. Four transfer windows and still can't get rid of him.
and he's still cashing his paycheck.
We're getting $200,000 a week.
Legend Tanguy.
If he's won anything, it's that, right?
Write a book on how to fleece a company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just for perspective as well. Just for perspective. My figure is bright, breezy, chirpy, optimistic, and it's still only 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Mine's
what we're like as a club.
Yeah.
Hooray! We got a 4 out of 10.
I can't go higher than 3. I give Madison for a 2, and I give Van der Ven for that extra 1. And I think because we haven't got rid of the players that we needed to get rid of, it's just our squad is so over bloated that the club didn't want to bring in more players because of that reason. They were using that as an excuse, right?
This has been the worst. And just to cheer you all up, here's an egg that looks like a Death Star.
Well, that's nice.
I like it.
Oh, wait a minute. We could have, after the transfer window's shut, we have still got more stuff to do. We can have a game of fantasy whose contract gets ripped up first.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's going to be Eric Dyer. And his guinea pig.
Or should we start the who we link to in January talk now?
Yeah.
Hold on, where is it?
Right. What is everyone's
just to make everyone sort of feel a little bit better, right? Bear with. Sorry, 1 second. I just as a little palate cleanser, right? Everyone should, if I am allowed to share.
Yeah.
My screen.
Oh my god!
Everyone should.
Go on, Riz.
Everyone should go and see The Sword of the Yeast Falcon, starring Eric Dyer.
Thank God for that. I thought you were going to be showing an Amsterdam ping pong tournament.
Danny Kiriaku's in the movie.
I'm going to see this.
I'm going to see it. Danny Kiriaku's in there.
I want to see this too.
Yeah, The Sword of the Yeast Falcon, a Danny Boyle film starring Eric Dyer, Danny Dyer, Danny Glover, Danny Kiriakou, and Danny Murphy.
Yeah.
I'll give you a spoiler alert, right? There was a fight scene between me and Eric Dyer, and Eric Dyer didn't come out looking pretty. I tell you that.
He didn't go in looking pretty.
I was going to
say Danny. That's because it's Danny. As soon as you went at him,
wow,
he turned his back and dropped the knee.
Wait, we got to finish with this.
A massive
Cheers.
thank you to Andrew Gregory for
Big up,
£50
Andrew.
super chat. Cheers, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. That's massive.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Andrew. That really means a lot
You're
to
a
us.
star,
We've worked
Andrew.
really hard throughout the day and messed about mostly.
I think just for that, Rez will give you a free copy of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But brilliant
Should
work.
probably be bigging him up for the rest of the week. Like Andrew hung like a horse, Gregory, and big man, and yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think you could have spent £50 on tickets for this, though.
Did you see what Did you guys see what Romano tweeted out? That basically in about 2 minutes' time they're going to unveil.
6 o'clock or 11
Yeah,
o'clock.
they're going to basically unveil it as soon as the window finishes. That is just such Tottenham. Oh my god,
It is so tough.
In the words of the lovely Sea Kids, cheers, by the way. In the cheers, boys. You look like a bunch of degenerates, up to no good, as we always are. Another super chat from David J. Bisco.
David, appreciate that, mate.
£1 super chat. Thank you so much.
you star, man.
Cheers,
So
guys.
cheers to everybody who's in the chat who actually stayed for this. You know, like good on you.
This was just a bit of fun.
Bit of fun, bit of a shit show, but yeah, good. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
But for the last time today, transfer deadline is about to wrap up. Where do you think Tottenham are going to finish this season? We're going to start with Mr. Ireland.
Wow.
Where will Tottenham finish this season after this?
I'm going to say 6th or 7th, probably.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Danny boy?
Guys, just at the top of the BBC website, if you want to see it. I don't know if you how well. Let me zoom in a bit. Nottingham Forest have just tweeted a video saying thank you for everything, Brennan.
THFC have posted just a bow and arrow as 1 minute ago, just like an emoji bow and arrow.
Jesus.
Did you hear Mason Greenwood apparently signed for Getafe?
Oh, for God's sake, Danny, we're not talking about him. We're not getting into any trouble this stream. We've done so well.
Let me ask you a question, actually.
Have we?
Let me ask you a question. Who thinks Eric Dyer is going to be excluded from the 25-man squad, or do you think he's going to be included?
I think he'll be excluded.
Yeah, I think he'll
be excluded as well. Well, let me ask you this question then. How do you feel then if he is included in the squad? What do you think happens? What do you think goes through your mind then?
I will be asking Postecoglou for answers because he's not played him in a single game. He
hasn't even been in a squad yet. So I mean,
even been in a squad. If he's in the 25, this is proof that he is not talking to us the truth,
or he's got some serious dirt on Levy.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm genuinely worried if he is included or excluded, regardless.
We won't.
Because but the problem with
when is it announced? Danny, when is the squad announced? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce too, guys. I gotta go.
Ryan out. It's happened again, and as always, Levy out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Bye, Brian.
Get out, Ryan.
There it is.
Oh, Ireland jumped in.
Hi, guys.
See you later, Ireland.
Hi, guys.
See you later, Ireland.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah.
There it is, guys. Done deal.
What were you saying?
We are going to wrap the stream up there. Thank you to everyone that's joined us throughout the day. No, who cares? Who cares about that, Danny?
Got to say it. One quick last thing about Eric Dyer. If he is in that 25-man squad, I think that could cost Ange's job.
Kuva, I was about to say, even if he isn't, right, the fact that he's still in the country, right, the fact that he's still in the country, right, when you've got some of his friends like Davison, Son, and all these players, right, who are still friends with him, it's not good because they're going to training. He's going to be sitting at home, and if they still go out and see each other, it's not good to still have that connection. What he needed that player to be gone from this squad, gone from this wherever it was, somewhere else in the country. And I'm genuinely worried for the fact that those players like Lloris and all these players are hanging around still in some capacity. It is so bad. It's so fucking bad.
100%.
That's the worst thing about all of this.
But on that note, we are going to end the stream there. Thank you all so much for joining throughout the day. We've had a great day. Loads of people joined. Thank you for everyone throughout the support. Thank you for Rez, for Bobby K, for Kuba, and for Danny for joining this stream. And let's be negative about the season because we love to be negative here on Tottenham on Tour.
Whoa. Ben. Stop there. It's not negative. It's just facts of what's actually the reality.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But let's all do it together.
Wait. Can I add one fact before we run off?
Yeah.
A real fact. You guys are seriously worried about this transfer window? Talk about real world problems. I have a son that supports Dyer.
Yeah.
Guys, I just
disown him. Disown him, Bobby.
I think we're going to need to do a sort of a telethon for Bobby K because of the fact that he has this challenge of a son that supports Dyer.
Well, no. If anything, just get everybody over to the channel, get to 1,000, so we can start getting super chats, and then I'll help pay for therapy.
So
that's a good point. Yeah.
If any of the mods are still in chat, please put the links for Shelfside Spurs Show, for the Free Spurs Boys, and for the Coffee Company in the chat. We're going to sign off here. Let's all do it together for the final time today. And
before we do, Ben,
as always,
hold on.
Out.
1 second.
Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Ciao for now.